Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry over the past week. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Please keep those coming in. We love hearing from everybody out there in the casino and gaming industries. If you're watching us on TV, you can catch us on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Roku, and also on our website, turnpikesports.us. Click on the enter button, and we'll be right there on the homepage every Monday morning for you. Audio, Pandora Podcasts. We have Samsung Podcasts and also Amazon Music. You can listen to us there. Subscribe at your favorite places for all your podcasts. This week, we're going to be talking in our state and national reports. We've got a lot of monthly records to talk about.
All right, okay.
As well as a new national benchmark set by one state in particular. Deals, we've got an NFL first type of deal going on.
All right.
We've also got deals involving USI, U.S. Integrity, and also Elys Gaming. Mm-hmm. Industry updates, we've got some guidelines coming out of ESPN regarding how their staff is going to be working with ESPN Bet. We know they've launched already. Okay. And we'll have more about the ESPN Bet launch in the coming weeks as it goes along. We've also got a bunch of launches and other licenses to talk about in this that segment. And then we're going to finish up with our legislative roundup. We've got news out of Michigan and North Carolina.
All right.
We're going to start our state and national reports right after this.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. As I said at the top of the show, we have a lot of monthly records to talk about this week.
Oh, wow, okay.
We've got records involving Kansas, Oregon, Montana, and also New York.
Okay.
Kansas, with its October sports betting report, the state of Kansas reported its top all-time handle of $249 million. The previous record was set back in September of 2023, the month before. 2 months, 1 month before.
Okay.
It's October.
All right.
I'm losing track here because we're in November and we've even got September numbers still coming out.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
Yes. So, and
was
also,
that Illinois and Arizona, huh?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
And also they set a monthly record for gross gaming revenue with just $25.4 million. This is still October, Kansas.
Okay.
Their all-time gross gaming revenue passed $200 million. All-time adjusted gaming revenue. They're still one of the states that also removes the promotions and the deductions. And all that. They set a record for their top. They have their top all-time adjusted gaming revenue as well for the month. DraftKings became the first operator in the state to top $100 million in a monthly handle. Mm-hmm. Over in Oregon, the state of Oregon released their October numbers as well. They reported a new record handle of just under $72 million and a new record revenue of $8.5 million.
Wow.
$8.54 million.
Interesting states breaking records here.
Yes.
You know?
We've got Montana with record revenue.
All right.
Their October sports betting report, they reported a record monthly revenue of $1.1 million.
All right.
So, and it's the second time the revenue has passed the $1 million mark as well, the monthly revenue. Maine, who just recently launched their sports betting industry.
Yeah.
They actually released the numbers for the first weekend.
Okay.
Total handle of $4,066,950.14. Gaming revenue of $966,000 and change. Taxes $6.9 million.
Now, is there any
6,921. I'm used
Now-
to these millions.
yeah.
These are thousands.
Is there any retail book open in
Not
Maine
yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Right now, so far, it's only online in
Yeah.
Maine. Okay.
And also, most of the handle came from DraftKings.
Okay. DraftKings rules New England, though.
Yes.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Well, what's interesting, DraftKings had most of the handle, but Caesars has three Native American tribe deal. So DraftKings has one deal, Caesars has three deals, but Caesars still only came in with $660,000 of handle.
Well, when you're talking about sports betting in New England, it's just DraftKings, because first off, they have a monopoly in New Hampshire, which
Yes.
is online, and it's only DraftKings, and DraftKings has their corporate headquarters in Boston. So, I was watching the Celtics-Knicks game the other night, and it was DraftKings on the court in the Garden, in the Boston Garden. Actually, they don't call it Boston
It's
Garden
the
anymore.
TD
Garden. Okay. But no, DraftKings was on the court. So
Yeah. And DraftKings still has time to get the 21 plus on.
I was thinking that when I was watching the game. I was like, because it was right on the court. It was right under the basket,
Yep.
right in that area. So,
Going over onto the East Coast, you just mentioned Boston. We're going down 95. We're going to New York State.
Well, I mentioned Boston and New York.
Yeah.
They're playing the Knicks.
Well, we're going to New York.
Okay.
We have the state reported not just their weekly report, but also their monthly report for the month of October.
Mm-hmm.
They became the first state, the state of New York, became the first state to have a $2 billion month in terms of handle.
Unbelievable.
Just benchmark after benchmark after benchmark
Sure.
from this.
It's incredible with New York numbers.
$2 billion, $6 million. They just got over that hump for the $2 billion mark.
Mm-hmm.
They had 5 weeks of NFL football, which helped them.
Okay, yeah. I guess that set it up good with,
Yeah.
what would they have, 5 Sundays?
5 Sundays.
Does that happen? Okay.
Well, also 5 Thursdays.
yeah.
I think they had
I don't know.
5 Sundays. I don't know about
I don't
5
have-
Mondays.
I don't have a calendar in front of me, so I don't know.
But I think
it's
they-
interesting how that sets up.
They
like
may
that.
have had 5 Mondays as well, because Halloween was on a Tuesday, so they may have had a 5th Monday in there.
I don't know. Maybe.
I
Who
know they
knows?
had 5 weekends of NFL football. That helps any
now
state.
you're doing that. What's that rhyme? 30 days have September, April.
Well,
June,
somebody is
or
probably out
something
there,
like
yeah.
that. So.
But they were able to hit the $2 billion because of the 5 weeks. FanDuel's handle was 44% of the overall handle.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, and DraftKings was 33%.
It's those things. FanDuel is really
Yeah.
is rules New York, but DraftKings is coming up strong. They've had some pretty strong months.
Well, if you think about it, the previous 2 months before October here, DraftKings had the month.
Sure.
And now the 2 of the last 3 months have been DraftKings. This one was FanDuel. And as we're taping this, DraftKings introduced a new product. I'm very curious to see what this product does for their bottom line, because it's according to the announcements, players are going to enjoy it, but they may lose a lot more.
Okay.
So
well,
it's an interesting sales pitch.
Yeah.
So,
I think he's saying the quiet part out loud.
Yes,
So
yes.
maybe. I don't know.
Since launch, FanDuel has passed $400 million in gross gaming revenue and $200 million in adjusted gaming revenue in the state of New York. And also since launch, DraftKings has passed $300 million in gross gaming revenue and $150 million in adjusted gaming revenue. Now, the adjusted gaming revenue is the 49% after you take out 51% of the gross gaming revenue for taxes.
Yep.
So, it's just incredible to see these two battle it out in New York.
Yeah.
And basically everywhere in the country. I don't see any other group rivaling DraftKings and
Well,
FanDuel
I always think
right
as
now.
the top 4 was just DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars,
Yeah.
BetMGM, and if you're going to split that up, then
Yeah.
you have the really top tier of FanDuel and DraftKings who
Yeah.
are just battling it out over in every state in the union. So.
And one last note for our state and national reports, since this is a numbers segment. SimpleBet saw 2.4 million bets on its micro markets over the course of the 2023 Major League Baseball postseason.
Wow. Okay.
That's a increased its volume of 88% from the prior season.
Wow.
That's an incredible number.
Yeah.
More markets, more bettors, and also it's just, even though it was one of the lowest rated, if not the lowest rated World Series, it did wonders for the betting industry.
Well, let me tell you something. The only reason a lot of people I know watch the World Series is they had money on it.
Exactly.
I mean, no one was really wondering how the Rangers and the Diamondbacks are going to do in New Jersey and New York or Pennsylvania. So, there was one reason why they were watching it. They had either bets on it or a betting during it. So,
And Simple Bet was there for them.
yeah.
That's it for the state and national reports. Let's head on over to some deals. We have a deal of its first of its kind in the NFL this week. San Francisco 49ers have claimed the National Football League first. They have announced a multi-year partnership with Foliati Casino, a Mexico-based casino brand.
Yep.
Foliati owns and operates 3 casinos in Monterrey, Guadalajara, and the state of Mexico.
Okay.
They also have online gaming and is owned by Grupo SICOM.
Okay.
Don't ask me what that means, SICOM.
Grupo
but
SICOM.
it's kind of an interesting deal that they have. It's an international, I guess, Lucky 6 game.
Oh, is that like
Yeah.
a predictive game kind of thing?
Yes.
They're going to do something like that?
It's a free-to-play Lucky 6 game only on the 49ers Spanish website.
Okay, good.
49ers.com/ESP.
See, I think it's great. I think you're going to see a lot more teams.
I'm actually
not
surprised-
only football, but other teams really go international with these deals.
Given the fact that we now have Germany games, we have the Mexico games, I'm surprised this hasn't been done before.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some European deals. So, like you said, we have London and Germany now. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some European casino deals kind of.
There's got to be. There's got to be. I mean, there's lots of casinos out there, but Germany, that would actually be kind of interesting to see a pick 6 predictive game in German. So we'll see what they do here, but it's a Lucky 6 predictive game. Congratulations to the Niners for making that step. Like I said, surprised no one else thought of this. U.S. Integrity announced a partnership with InVenue for the in-play betting category. They're looking at addressing the integrity of microbets, a category characterized by its immense scale and volume.
Oh, okay.
That's an interesting way to phrase micro betting markets.
Well, everyone's doing it.
Yes.
It's such a great thing. Like we just got done talking about the World Series. I know people were betting on it. That's one of the reasons why, not a lot of people in the East Coast were fans of these teams, but, they were betting on them.
They're going to be working together to create the platform to monitor the micro bets placed each year, and not just in overall aspects of it, but also in real time. They're trying to create something that can monitor it in real time better than what's out there right now. They're looking at player cheating. They're looking at latency issues. They're looking at official game data inputs in terms of how to design this new tool for the industry.
That's great. Absolutely. It's what the industry needs.
Yes. Elys Game Technology announced a market access agreement with Caesars for the state of Colorado.
Oh, all right.
This is Elys's first entry into the North American mobile sports betting landscape, and also they will be launching for the first time their online sportsbook operations in the state of Colorado. That's the new brand that they have, sportbet.com. So first time they intend to expand across the country. We'll see how long it takes them to do this. The first one's here in Colorado with Caesars. Usually once you have one under your belt, the other ones start to fall into place for other
I
states.
think so. And Caesars, and I mean, Colorado's a great place to start. It's a great betting market.
Yes, and also when you look at Colorado's betting market, the online side of everything, they have so many different books out there that there's enough market share to go around outside of FanDuel and DraftKings.
I know there are sports bettors in Nevada who say, Colorado is a better market than Nevada because of the menu, the betting menu, the betting options. So, it's a great place to start.
That's it for the deals. We're going to talk industry updates right after this.
every 40 seconds, a kid is reported missing. Find the Children provides educational material that teaches your kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs are very successful in bringing kids back home to their family. You can help protect our kids and bring the missing kids home safe by donating your unwanted car, truck, SUV, or van, running or not. We guarantee you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast free pickup, usually within 24 hours. Over 2,000 kids are reported missing every day. Call now to donate your vehicle. Donate now to bring these kids home safe.
Call 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. This past week, ESPN Bet launched.
Yeah.
It was highly anticipated to see exactly how everything was going to shake out. The day before the launch was the debut of ESPN Bet Live.
Yes.
Very interesting set.
Very green. Very
I have
minty
to admit,
green.
I was not expecting to like the color scheme, but when they put it in the neon in the set behind the people at the desk, by the way, it was all green screen type stuff.
Yeah.
But the neon version of the ESPN Bet logo actually looked pretty darn good in terms of how it played on the TV screen. I'm not a fan of mint in any logo whatsoever,
well, hey.
but a neon mint may actually be a very pleasant thing to see.
Sure.
Before ESPN Bet launched, ESPN released guidelines to its employees regarding sports betting.
Okay.
And we're going to go through some of these now real quick.
Okay.
According to these guidelines, no insider or team reporter can place a bet on the team they cover.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yes.
No employee can place a bet on a game they're assigned to work.
Okay.
That's an interesting one. I guess they're talking about Monday Night Football.
Or
Or are they talking about any of the ABC games, too?
well, or college football, I would think.
Yeah, I would assume
Yeah,
college football,
so,
too.
yeah.
Employees who learn confidential information on a game or a market cannot use the information for sports betting purposes.
All right.
I think that goes without saying.
Well, first off,
I think you had to say it
you
in
have
writing.
to put it in
Yeah,
writing. You
yes,
have to
yes.
put it out there. You
I
have to put it
understand
in
that.
writing.
That one's a logical
So,
one.
Yeah. Especially, I always think of ESPN as a news organization. You're
First,
getting
yes.
information, and you're getting it. So, yeah, I mean, they have to do this, especially when you're dealing with betting now.
Yes, and also now that a report just came out from the ESPN newsroom this morning, they're setting records in terms of viewership for all their NFL type shows.
Yeah, no, it's
So
great. Yeah.
kind of good time to actually release ESPN Bet.
Absolutely.
And also with what's going on in front of the gaming commissions like in Massachusetts and a couple of the other ones where they were questioning how they were going to handle all
see,
this stuff. You had to put these out.
I'm curious about that issue because a lot of states are dealing with the whole idea about advertising and, what's on the screen and what people are saying and things like that with regard to sports betting. And, I know Massachusetts wants some kind of language with every logo, especially in stadiums and arenas. So I'm curious to see how ESPN would handle that. And, because let's make, whenever you have something flashing on the screen, I'm sure they're going to have a ticker or something like that. I guess that would be considered advertising.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm curious to see how that works out.
Well, you have Ohio who is actually relaxing some of their regulations regarding advertising and promotion. I think that's because of Fanatics and ESPN Bet more so than anything.
So yeah,
Or Bet Fanatics, I should say.
Yeah, and I think that's these guidelines are important, and like I said, I'm curious to see how when you're dealing with how much advertising is too much advertising, when you have an ESPN Bet numbers on the screen, is that considered advertising and stuff like that? So I'm very curious how every state is going to handle this.
I think as long as ESPN Bet doesn't put the promo offer up when they're doing that, I think they'll be fine with that. So. But here's an interesting one. No story, news, or information can be withheld, reported, or delayed to impact betting lines.
Okay.
That one's going to be tough to police a little bit. In certain instances.
Yeah. Well, with modern technology now, everyone knows who's betting what and where they're betting from and what time they're betting. So, you know.
Also, one other little piece of information regarding the ESPN Bet app itself that came out before it launched. ESPN Bet users can put together betting slips in the ESPN Media app.
Okay.
So they're going to be linked together somehow.
All right.
So it's going to be interesting to...
What's the ESPN Media? I mean, the ESPN app. Just the ESPN app. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not the ESPN Plus stuff.
Okay.
So, but it's kind of interesting to see how ESPN has to do this, especially after Penn dropped Barstool and had all the problems with Barstool.
Sure.
Now you got ESPN, and I applaud ESPN getting this out beforehand.
I think the one major issue with ESPN was their, everyone loves their NCAA college football pregame show. Everyone has the signs back. So I'm curious to how they're going to, talk and use ESPN Bet there, or how prevalent ESPN Bet is going to be in that broadcast.
Well, that's one of the issues that Massachusetts has with it. So
I
we'll
know,
see.
but we'll see.
Genius Sports has been awarded a temporary gaming license from the Maine Gambling Control Unit.
Oh, good.
That is now 43 in terms of licenses for Genius Sports. New York Mets owner, as everyone knows, Steve Cohen, released a proposal on his City Field Casino project.
For a Hard Rock Hotel and Casino
and
there.
Sportsbook.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to handle the licensing for that.
Well, everything has to.
They have to make another license available now.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know what's going on there. So everything's up in the air.
Yep.
I know New Jersey's worried about it because, New York area casinos is going to cut into Atlantic City.
Yes.
So, it should be interesting to see.
Over in Iowa, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sioux City is shutting down its digital sportsbook. The retail book will still be in operation. Over in Indiana, Ballybet, which had been shut down for its changing over the platform from one stack to another, has been given the go live order. They went live last week in the state of Indiana. DraftKings filed another trademark. As we all know by this time what the product is, it was for progressive parlays. That was the trademark application. Both Prize Picks and Underdog Fantasy both launched new products.
Okay.
We've got a free-to-play version of Prize Picks fantasy sports game in Michigan. It launched in Michigan. They're going to be expanding it to other states. And then we have Underdog Fantasy launching peer-to-peer player pick'em contests.
Okay.
In 4 states. We have Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Wyoming, and they did talk to regulators in those states, and this doesn't run afoul of what's going on in the industry right now. Doesn't mean that could change.
Well, yeah,
but right now there's a shifting landscape of fantasy sports.
A lot of states are worried about that prop-style fantasy sports games.
The sports betting style fantasy games.
Yeah.
So that's the only way to phrase them.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Prize Picks and Underdog for coming up with new products amidst all this stuff. It's kind of a mess if you think about it. No one knows what to do next.
I think communication's the key. I think states have to really put out their guidelines and say, what we're going to allow and what you're not going to allow. Yeah. So,
But they're still in the process of trying to figure all this out.
Sure.
So that's it for the industry updates. Let's finish up with our legislative roundup. Finishing up this week, we're going up to the state of Michigan. We have a brand new House Bill number 5227, which was introduced by State Rep Cynthia Neely. It's only a proposed bill right now, but it did create a lot of raised eyebrows because it redefined what an illegal slot machine is.
What, an illegal slot machine?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, I guess what a slot machine is.
Well, all right. Okay.
According to the bill, and it's a huge description.
Okay.
What she did here was redefine the slot machine that would make all the games that are in like places like Dave and Buster's, Chuck E. Cheese's, they would be classified as illegal slot machines.
Oh, I gotta be honest with you. I haven't been in Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese in a while. I mean, do they even have anything that resembles a slot machine? I kind of thought they were arcade games.
According to the definition,
Okay.
basically any game that spits out tickets or coins that can later be redeemed for items such as candy, other products, would be deemed illegal.
Whoa.
So there's going to be,
I don't know that's going to fly. Well, let me tell you something. In the summertime, the arcades on the Jersey Shore.
Well, this is only Michigan. This is only Michigan.
Ball and it pumps out tickets, and you can get these
Yeah.
cheap plastic rings or some weird stuff behind the counter. But that's interesting. What I think that maybe goes a little far.
Yeah. Well, the definition does. The definition's got to be tweaked a bit.
Yeah. Wow. That's
She did do a carve out for one game.
What?
The crane game.
That thing?
Yeah, as long as the prize is not worth more than $3.75, the crane game is not an illegal slot machine.
I think that
It's got
the
to be
one
tweaked.
the
It's gotta
one
be tweaked.
game I know I haven't been to Michigan, so I don't know how prevalent they are, but like skeet ball,
Yeah.
the ball you
Yeah.
roll into the circles, that pumps out tickets and stuff
Well,
like that.
that would be illegal under this.
See, that's,
It's got to be redefined.
I
a little
guess,
bit.
yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
proposed bill. We'll see what
Okay.
happens. I just think, again, I think she did the right thing in terms of going overboard on the language. That way she can bring it back down to get other things worked out. That's political. That's more
guess.
so than
Okay.
anything. I hope it's political. Otherwise, this is crazy.
Not a skeet ball fan, huh?
Over in North Carolina, we're waiting for North Carolina to launch their online sports betting industry. The North Carolina Sports Betting Committee released their second set of rules and regulations for public comment. Interesting rules and regulations here. No North Carolina stadium, arena, or track can sell its naming rights to a sports betting operator.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting because what if it's like a Hard Rock?
I
You
don't
have
know.
a casino but not a sports betting.
I don't.
Or a Hard Rock Cafe. Do they have to look, like what they do in Miami,
Yeah.
the Hard Rock Stadium?
Interesting.
So, but no
is that a
naming rights.
proposed or is that
These are proposed. These are for public opinion.
That might
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, if money comes in, I'm sure they'll tweak the rules.
If they tag a bit to the state in terms of a percentage as increase in taxes or something, maybe it'll go through. No advertising, marketing, branding, and other promotional materials can be distributed in media outlets, including social media platforms, where users are primarily underage persons. Don't know how you do that one. That's like the one in Massachusetts where it's extreme, if it's the majority is under the legal age.
Yeah, that's
tough to police.
Yeah, that's really tough. But I get what they're saying, and I think their heart's in the right place.
Yeah,
It
their minds aren't. Though.
Well, I don't know. Practically, it'd be tough to do, but we'll see how it works out.
Another tweaking necessary.
Yeah, sure.
No advertising and marketing for sports betting operators will be prohibited at college or university campuses, school newspapers, or school TV or radio.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Here's an interesting one. Customers placing a $10,000 bet or more, or receiving a payout in excess of $10,000 or more, must provide the operator with their full legal name, the date of birth, address, social security number, and also provide proper documentation that the wagering facility must keep records of and hold on to those records for 5 years. That's a tax thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's a total tax
yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised a lot of other states don't have this requirement.
Well, we always talk about jackpots. You win a jackpot, you got to fill out some paperwork. So I guess that's they're just putting it out there now.
And here's their Massachusetts version. No advertising, marketing, branding, or promotional materials allowed at events aimed at underage persons or where 25% or more of the audience is reasonably expected to be underaged. Mm-hmm. So you won't see sports betting operators at Disney on Ice kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess not. But
That kind of
but you see, I don't know how is a football game 25% underage? I mean,
I don't know
or
anymore.
Is I don't know. College football game 25% underage? Is a hockey game 25% underage?
Well, you got to remember, you won't have a betting operator as a stadium sponsor.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
They'll be able to police a lot of these things.
We'll see.
Again, these are all for public comment. I'm expecting another set of rules and regulations to come out before they launch the industry, but they're moving in the right direction, I think.
Absolutely.
And it's good to see. That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Please keep the press releases coming in, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. If you've been following along on TV, our ticker's been flying by below us. Additional news stories there, in addition to what we talked about here in this half hour. And as always, once this show is released on Monday morning, right after that, you will see a full print version of this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button, and you'll be taken to the full print version there.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.